collection of my videos on growing vegetables in a city dwelling with very little space for growing plants. Mexican coriander is also known as African coriander. Mexican coriander is cultivated worldwide and is used as a culinary herb. It has a much stronger taste than the usual coriander. Couple of Mexican coriander plants were brought from a relative's house and planted in a garden pot. This picture was taken 6 weeks later. The leaf buds seen in the initial picture have grown into full sawtooth shaped leaves, which give the plants another name of sawtooth coriander. Mexican coriander developing inflorescence at the tip of a long stalk. Different type of leaves are seen surrounding the inflorescence. The inflorescence was removed as I was told that if the inflorescence was kept there, it would prevent new leaves from developing in the plant. 3 new leaves have sprung up beside the stump of the inflorescence. The other plant is also developing new leaves, though it is yet to develop an inflorescence. But the Mexican coriander is developing a new inflorescence. The stalk of the previous inflorescence, which was nipped off in the hope that it will continue to produce more leaves, is seen beside the new one. This time I retain the inflorescence to see how it progresses. To my surprise, it developed into a large multi-branched inflorescence. It stayed for several days and then withered away, leaving the plants in the previous state continuing to grow. I have not grown spinach earlier, nor seen it except in one of the famous cartoon series. Tried growing spinach as the seeds came bunched up with a lot of others bought online. A lot of them germinated, as you can see plenty of seedlings in this garden pot. This picture was taken in December 2020. But only one of them survived to develop 2 new leaves by the end of January 2021. As I had a feeling that it may not survive, I replanted a few carrot plants into the same pot. This was necessary because of overpopulation in the pots in which carrot seeds were sown. In fact, the whole project of purchasing seeds online was to try out carrot growing. Spinach plant was replanted to another pot in February 2021 as it seemed that it may not get good freedom to grow with carrot plants around. Still, growth was stagnant for quite some time, so I thought of planting a chili plant to fully utilize the limited space in my city dwelling. The chili plant did not show good growth, but the spinach plant started growing well when it started raining heavily. It has started sprouting several small new leaves around the main big leaves. You can see those leaves in the close-up. A tiny ant is also seen running around on the paved floor near the pot. Small part of an okra plant is seen in the upper part of the video in another pot. A Mexican coriander plant is barely seen in the lower part beside the chili plant in another pot. Look out for my next video on urban nano horticulture. Short video on growing chili plants at home. This was the first set of chili plants brought from a local nursery. They were in grow bags filled with soil and manure. They seem to be quite strong plants. A couple of months later, they have grown a bit more and started flowering. Nice white flower, a white flower bud, and a couple of green immature flower buds are seen here. Though there were several flowers, only one produced a chili fruit. It took over 1 month for the chili fruit to grow to this size. There are flowers on the other plant, but none of them gave fruits. My previous attempts to grow chili with seeds bought online had not succeeded, so I decided to keep this one as a seed bank. You can see that part of the fruit has ripened and is bright red. This picture was taken about 2 weeks after the previous one. Few more days and the fruit was fully ripe and I plucked and stored it. When it became dry, I opened it and got a few seeds. Seeds were sown in garden pots, but only 2 of them germinated. Here is one of the second generation chili plants. Here is one plant which has borne a fruit. had harvested one fruit from this plant a few days back. This is the other second generation chili plant with two fruits. I had harvested one chili fruit from this plant as well a few days back. A close-up photograph of the same set of chilies. I hope to keep these as seed banks for the third generation. Growing red cowpea plants. Started growing red cowpeas just because it is easy to get the seeds. You just have to use the seeds bought for cooking. As I had done it in my childhood days, I was sure that it would work out. Soak the red cowpea seeds for 48 hours in a small dish and they sprouted well. You can also see a few garden peas along with it, but they have not sprouted. Sprouted seeds were planted. Right image shows a pea seedling just emerging from the seed. The leaves are yet to open fully. Left panel shows the seedling with two initial leaves fully open. As you can see, the soil is not perfect with plenty of stones. Another set of seedlings with a couple of cotyledons. They are just a few days old. You can see part of the concrete pavement at the top. I had removed two pavement pieces in the courtyard to get some soil for my Nano horticulture project. Next stage in the growth of the plant. This one is in a garden pot. You can see the remnant of an old ornamental plant beside it. Fast forwarding a bit, and here we have the full grown red cowpea plant which has a flower bud. Here is the next stage with a couple of beautiful violet flowers and a small pea fruit beside it. Fruits are maturing and getting ready for a harvest. You can see a few visitors. These ants can be quite a menace. Aphids and ants have a symbiotic relationship. These aphids are also known as ant cows because ants are known to farm them for milk. Aphids feed on plant sap and secrete a sticky substance known as honeydew. Honeydew is a favorite food of ants. Ants transfer aphids to suitable locations when needed. Aphids are a constant menace to my pea plants. I try to flush them out with tiny water jets and they come back again after some time. In between, for some short period, the menace was a bit less but has recurred. This is a pea fruit which I have kept as a seed bank so that I can get homegrown seeds. Pea fruits for seed and food. The pea fruit on the left side is kept for seed purpose and it is drying up for storage. The pea fruit on the right side has been harvested for food and is just shown for comparison. I hope to go for the second generation of pea plants from this seed bank. Here is a better harvest of pea fruits, this time for food only. Here is a short video clip of pea plants growing up from garden pots. This was taken after mini harvest so that you can see only stumps and just one or two small fruits on close observation. Here are 5 okra plants. 4 bigger ones are in 2 rows, while one smaller one is almost hidden by the bigger ones on one side of the video. The white patches seen on some leaves as well as the concrete blocks below are nothing but the bright sunlight coming down through nearby trees. Some weeds are also seen on either sides of the video frame. Why is one plant so small compared to the others? All of the seeds were sown on the same day, but the seed from which the smaller plant germinated was sown in a small garden pot. It was not growing well as the other 4 sown on the ground soil, so it was replanted in the ground soil near the other 4. Actually, the spot where it was replanted was also sown initially, but a couple of seeds did not germinate. Hence, this one got a chance to be replanted in ground soil. It has recovered from the so-called transplant shock and has started growing, though still lagging behind the other 4. Look out for my next video on urban nano horticulture soon. Panoramic view of pumpkin plants growing in the backyard. But first, a recap of how it started growing. Here is the pumpkin seedling soon after germination. Just the 2 cotyledons are seen. True leaves are yet to develop. Now it has developed 2 new leaves which look quite different from the previous ones. Here there are a couple of pumpkin saplings as well as a couple of bitter gourd saplings. Pumpkin saplings are growing further with larger leaves. Here they have started growing along the backyard with several leaves and a good stem. Now here is part of the panorama as the pumpkin plants grow along the backyard. This is only half of the extent, avoiding usual backyard clutters. Look out for my next video on urban nano horticulture soon. Happy home horticulture! Panoramic view of the Ritz gourd growing on the compound wall. First, a recap of the history of this plant. Ritz gourd seedling with 2 cotyledons just a couple of days old. Ritz gourd is grown for its unripe fruits which is used as a vegetable. It is a tasty vegetable. The Ritz gourd sapling is now growing further. 2 more leaves have opened up and another is on the way. Interestingly, this is the only seed which germinated of the 5 which were planted. The Ritz gourd vine is now climbing upon a twine using its tendrils. 4 tomato plants are seen in the top right part of the picture as well. Ritz gourd showing typical positive geotropism. It is not growing along the twine kept for its tendrils to hold. The plant grows up every day and I have to reroot it to grow along the twine. Usually plant shoots have positive geotropism and roots have negative geotropism. Here is the first panoramic view of the Ritz gourd growing along the wall on twines given for support. Only half of the extent is being shown because of clutter in the remaining half. This is the return panorama of the same half of the plant spread, cutting out the usual backyard clutter. Towards the end of the view, you can see a branch coming up with flower buds. Look out for the next video on my urban nano horticulture in my city dwelling with limited space around. Most of the courtyard is covered with tiles and tiny spots without tiles are being utilized for horticulture. Here is a time-lapse video taking you through the growth of coriander right from the seedling stage. Finally, there is a short video clipping of the full coriander plant. Coriander seeds are not easy to germinate. Sowed about 10 seeds bought online in 2 small pots. Only 2 germinated after weeks. The husk of the coriander seed can be seen in this photograph. 2 seedlings are emerging from a single husk as it had 2 seeds inside. This is an enlarged view of the same couple of seedlings. The cotyledons are yet to open up. The 2 seedlings have come up at right angles to each other. Few more seeds were sown, of which 1 germinated. This time I had tried adding coriander meant for cooking, but none of them germinated. Only those bought online as seeds germinated. Probably the ones meant for cooking were processed and non-viable. The seeds bought online had a pink coating of some material used probably to prevent harm from insects. Now the coriander plant looks splendid with several new leaves. Only one of the plants survived, rest of them withered away. Tiny drops of water are seen on the leaves as the plant has just been watered. Some gardeners use irrigation techniques which give water beneath the soil or just for the roots to prevent leaves from getting moist. Moist leaves can attract fungal growth in some plants. Here is a video of the coriander plant with plenty of leaves swaying in the wind in bright sunlight. Now it is ready for a mini harvest of leaves if needed. It can flower and produce coriander seeds if you wait some more time. Both leaves and seeds are used for flavoring while cooking in different types of dishes. Look out for the next video on my urban nano horticulture. This is the story of a papaya plant which sprouted from thrown away seeds. Initial recap is followed by a short video clip of present status. This papaya plant germinated from thrown away seeds. It grew from beneath the granite boulder seen in the left upper corner of the inset picture. The boulder had to be moved meticulously to give space to the small plant, taking special care not to damage it. The plant can grow into a sparsely branched tree which can be several feet tall. Leaves are confined to the top of the tree. Leaves are palmately lobed as can be seen in the photo. All parts of the plant contain latex. The plant produces both male and female flowers. Flowers are born in the leaf axils. Female flowers develop into fruits later. Now the papaya plant has grown to be taller than the granite boulder from underneath which it had started growing a month back. The number of lobes on each leaf has increased. To begin with, it was only 3, while now it is 5. Serrations on each leaf has also increased as the plant is growing. Still another month later, the stem has become thicker and sturdier. Flower buds have started appearing at the axils. Look like male flowers, though they are quite small for me to identify accurately. Here is a close-up of the buds. The tip of the plant has been broken off and new leaves seem to be originating from the axils. Let us see how many branches develop well. Usually, papaya tree is known to have very few branches, if any. Here is the current status of the plant, now like a shrub, but hopefully will grow into a tree in the near future. Here are a few male flower buds in the leaf axils. Some branches are also seen springing up from the axils. This one is a fully open male flower with stamens inside. A bud is also seen nearby which is yet to open up. Now the papaya plant has grown into a small papaya tree with several branches. It has also borne a few small fruits. The leaves are swaying in the gentle breeze in the bright sunlight. Dry and drying up leaves are seen in the lower part. The color change in the top leaves are due to the reflections from the bright sunlight and not a true change in color. Here is the close-up of one papaya fruit. Another one is barely seen in the branch behind. Few days back we had harvested another one which had grown bigger. Look out for the next video on my urban nano horticulture soon. Story of the rescued papaya. This papaya plant germinated from thrown away seeds. It grew from beneath the granite boulder seen in the left upper corner of the inset picture. The boulder had to be moved meticulously to give space to the small plant, taking special care not to damage it. The plant can grow into a sparsely branched tree which can be several feet tall. Leaves are confined to the top of the tree. Leaves are palmately lobed as can be seen in the photo. All parts of the plant contain latex. The plant produces both male and female flowers. Flowers are born in the leaf axils. Female flowers develop into fruits later. Now the papaya plant has grown to be taller than the granite boulder from underneath which it had started growing a month back. The number of lobes on each leaf has increased. To begin with, it was only 3, while now it is 5. Serrations on each leaf has also increased as the plant is growing. Still another month later, the stem has become thicker and sturdier. Flower buds have started appearing at the axils. Look like male flowers, though they are quite small for me to identify accurately. Here is a close-up of the buds. The tip of the plant has been broken off and new leaves seem to be originating from the axils. Let us see how many branches develop well. Usually, papaya tree is known to have very few branches, if any. Here is the current status of the plant, now like a shrub, but hopefully will grow into a tree in the near future. Look out for updates on this rescued papaya as well as other aspects of nano horticulture at my city dwelling with space constraints. My urban nano horticulture project has moved on to its next phase in carrot growing. Carrot flowers have borne a lot of carrot seeds, some of which have been sown. The gen next of carrot seedlings have sprung up. This time I am trying out in a tiny plot of soil while the previous project was in a garden pot. Now some of the seedlings have developed new leaves and become saplings, as you can see in this close-up picture marked by arrows. Recap of the previous phase follows. This is an update to the carrot growing project. In this video clip, you can see the carrot plants dancing in the gentle breeze and enjoying the bright sunlight. Here is a better view in another angle with the plants swaying a bit more as the breeze has become more vigorous. Part of the previous carrot growing time-lapse video follows. for those who missed the previous one. Prepared one pot with soil and vermicompost bought online. Second pot was with soil alone. Seeds were purchased online and sown. Watered them regularly and a few saplings came up. But I was not sure whether it was carrot saplings or weeds, as I have not seen them before. I checked out online pictures and thought that they almost matched with these and posted them online at my blog on 21/12/2020. This is the picture on 27/12/2020. By this time, a few more new types of leaves had sprung up which matched well with the online pictures, and I was sure that it was carrot plants and not weeds. I had constant encouragement from my followers on Twitter for this project, though they were not agriculturalists by profession. This picture was taken on 11/1/2021, and you can see that the plants are growing well to my satisfaction. But I will not be able to tell you whether the time span of growth is as expected, as I do not have a past experience of growing carrot plants. I continue to water them twice a day and gave some top-up vermicompost covered by a little extra soil. I had pulled out a few plants which were not growing well, but replanted them in other pots. This is one of the pots with good growth as on 29/1/2021. This is another pot with fewer number of plants but with good growth. Two of the plants which I had replanted are here. The growth is less but still growing. Another pot with a replanted plant has lesser growth. I am still waiting to see whether these carrot plants will grow up to maturity and what will be the produce. Look out for an update later, as carrots are supposed to take 60 to 80 days to grow well. This video is a continuation of the carrot growing project. I read somewhere that carrot plants will flower only in the second year. Here is my carrot plant flowering within 4 months. You can see several ants moving around the flowers, hopefully acting as pollinators. This is an update to the carrot growing project. Small carrot is developing below the soil. As you can see, part of the soil over the carrot root has been removed in one plant to check for the development of the carrot. I was quite happy to see a small carrot developing. The okra growth story continues. Of the two okra fruits seen here, one is almost ready for harvest. The other one has to wait. A few buds are also seen. Here is another fruit ready for harvest. It is slightly more mature than the previous one. Let us see how they taste on cooking. Finally, we have decided to harvest them, and here they are. A couple of nice looking okra fruits. Previously posted okra growth story follows for those who missed it earlier. It is an okra growth time-lapse video taking you through various stages of growth. Please subscribe to this channel for future updates. Click on the subscribe button. Press the bell icon after that for all updates. The okra growth story. This is how it started as a tiny sapling with just 2 leaves 1 week after sowing the seeds. It had sprouted in just 3 days after planting. The image on the right side with 4 leaves was captured 12 days after the first one. Okra is better known as lady's finger. It is a good source of vitamin A and C. Like other vegetables, it has plenty of fiber content. Cholesterol and sodium content are given as 0, while potassium, magnesium and calcium content are fair. There is hardly any fat content. Okra plants are growing further in this picture taken another fortnight later. It seems like a few flower buds are forming at the tip, but one cannot be very sure until it develops further, as it is a bit too early to bear flowers for this small plant. Remnants of turmeric spray is seen on the leaves, sprayed in an attempt to keep off parasites. Like my pea and carrot plants, okra also received an initial supply of vermicompost bought online. It was covered with a bit of additional soil. Watering was done twice daily to prevent the plants from drying up in hot sun during daytime. Still another 12 days later, when this picture was taken, a few flower buds are clearly seen, but some of these buds do not bloom and fall off prematurely. Couple of pots with carrot plants are seen on either side, in the upper part of the picture. Part of another okra plant is also visible. Hi, the okra bud has bloomed into a beautiful flower. The flower has a resemblance to the shoe flower. After all, both belong to the same plant family of Malvaceae. One more beautiful flower and the previous flower has borne fruit. It is heartening to see such a small plant bearing fruit. You can see another plant twig given as a support, fearing that the fruits will cause the plant to fall. Here the okra fruit has grown further but not yet ready for harvest, or so I feel. The seeds were bought online, so I have no idea of how much this variety will grow. In my childhood days, if I remember correct, the okra plants used to be bigger by the time the flowers and fruits appeared. But those were planted in soil and not in pots like this one. So the okra growth story continues. A new set of seeds were sown, this time in soil on the ground. They have sprouted and reached the 4-leaf stage. Weeds have also started coming up. Watch out for my next video on another vegetable in my Nano Horticulture. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for future updates and click on the bell icon for all updates. Thank you. I was under the impression that growing curry leaves would be an easy option, but it has turned out to be a tough one. This small curry leaves plant was brought from a relative's house and planted in this pot. Curry leaves are added to most Indian dishes to give a good flavor and odor. Please subscribe to this channel for future updates. Click on the subscribe button. Press the bell icon after that for all updates. Curry leaves can develop into shrubs and even small trees if good care is given. Sometimes they grow by themselves, as seen in many old households. Birds help in distribution of plants sometimes by carrying the fruits containing seeds. In horticulture, plants are often grown using stem cuttings which spring roots and leaves when planted. But my plant withered away, shedding all leaves. I have just tried replanting it in soil and am waiting for the results. Another plant brought from the same place was planted in soil right from the beginning. This plant also shed all its leaves and remained so for some time, but it has sprouted fresh leaves, and this is the current picture. Tried buying a few plants from the local nursery grown in grow bags. This is one of them seen in a background of other garden plants. In a few days, caterpillars started eating the leaves. I had to remove them and shifted the plant to this location. After some time, almost all leaves got damaged due to some infestation. Tried spraying dilute turmeric suspension but did not seem to work. I pruned off all the leaves and kept the plants bare. Fortunately, new leaves sprang up in all the plants. Soon they developed flower buds as seen in this picture. Remnants of turmeric suspension is also seen on the leaves. The buds bloomed into nice white flowers as seen here. The inflorescence was removed as per a relative's advice, who had mentioned that the plants will stop producing new leaves otherwise. We also started harvesting the leaves when needed. We did not want to leave them to any new set of caterpillars or infestations. Look out for my new videos on my urban nano horticulture. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for future updates and click on the bell icon for all updates. Thank you. This is the story of a red gourd plant and illustrating positive geotropism. Red gourd seedling with 2 cotyledons just a couple of days old. Red gourd is grown for its unripe fruits, which is used as a vegetable. It is a tasty vegetable. Please subscribe to this channel for future updates. Click on the subscribe button. Press the bell icon after that for all updates. Mature fruits have plenty of fibers and can be used as a natural cleaning sponge in the kitchen. It was also used as a body scrub for bath. This is after processing to remove everything except the network of xylem fibers. If the fruit is allowed to remain on the vine after maturing, the outer covering falls off. The seeds inside can be shaken off and you get an excellent natural scrub or sponge. The red gourd sapling is now growing further. 2 more leaves have opened up and another is on the way. Interestingly, this is the only seed which germinated of the 5 which were planted. The Gourd vine is now climbing upon a twine using its tendrils. 4 tomato plants are seen in the top right part of the picture as well. Gourd showing typical positive geotropism. It is not growing along the twine kept for its tendrils to hold. The plant grows up every day and I have to reroot it to grow along the twine. Usually plant shoots have positive geotropism and roots have negative geotropism. Look out for my next video on my urban nano horticulture. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for future updates and click on the bell icon for all updates. Thank you.